Hello, welcome to episode 3 of Talking Balls with FM Scout. I'm Bood FM and I'm here with a beautiful bunch. The same lads as always. We've got Troy.
Hello.
Toby.
How's it going, everyone?
The beautiful Dave Azzopardi.
What's going on, guys?
And the legend that is Curty FM.
Howdy doody, you alright?
Right, we just wanted to say thank you for all the likes and views we got on episode 2. We're getting a lot of nice comments as well. We're really enjoying this and hopefully we can keep it going. Right, today we're going to have a chat. So we're going to basically answer some of the questions you asked us in episode 2 and talk about a few of them subjects. We've got a content creator of the week and then we're going to finish with Kurties Quiz.
It's easier this week, by the way. It's easy.
It'll have to be.
It better be.
So yeah, as always, we do our content creator of the week, and this week, for someone that's under 100 subs, it's going to be Kangar FM. He's recently started off a Dortmund save. I've been watching that, and for someone that's kind of just started up, his personality kind of comes across really well. He speaks well, good football knowledge, and I think he's a good player at the game. Have any of you guys caught any of his videos?
Yeah, right.
I've watched a few.
I watched his imps, a bit of his imp save, and then I watched his announcement for his Dortmund save, and I think it was the first episode, and I can already tell the difference from when he started as Lincoln, and then he's gone into his Dortmund save. So he's someone who, in my opinion, is definitely improving, and I think he's found, and I think we've all been there at some point, he's found that sometimes being a small club, it can be a great save. It really can, but I think he's realised that he can get more traction with a little bit of a bigger club. And in my opinion, I think he's made the right choice, and he's chose Dortmund. So hopefully, it'll help him press on. But he's had a little bit of growth anyway. But yeah, I think it'll serve him well.
That's the key thing. That's the key thing as well. He deserves
more than he's got, doesn't he?
Yeah,
sorry, go on.
Exactly.
Sorry,
I think with he's introduced Facecam now after episode 1, because I think on episode 1 he didn't have it, but now he's introduced Facecam, obviously, and that's kind of a big element towards a video. So if anyone does want to start FM videos, it's not an essential Facecam, because I know people that don't do it, but I think a lot of people do prefer Facecam, and it just adds a lot more to the video anyway. But yeah, a link to Kangar's channel will be in the description, and go and drop a sub if you enjoy what you see on his Dortmund save.
Also, if you've got any recommendations who you think should be highlighted for Content Creator of the Week, let us know, and we might well feature them on the channel.
Yeah, drop it in the comments. We'll all go take a look, because there's only so much time, especially for some of us guys. We're very busy doing Scout. We've got our own channel. I do daily content as well, so it sometimes can be quite hard to go out and find and scour the community for new content creators. So if you drop them in the comments, we'll definitely go and take a look. And obviously this is a feature that we want to carry on week in, week out. So if you know that there's somebody you guys are supporting quite heavily, think that they deserve a bit of a push, drop it in the comments, we'll have a look, and you never know, they may feature on the next episode of Talking Balls.
Hello, and welcome to a brand new series of Dortmund domination. My name is Kangar FM. Aubameyang's through. Oh, there we go! Gertzer. So to Schürrle, and it's 1-0. That looked miles offside. Oh, he's miles off. I'm running out of words. Kagawa. Wow. Schürrle to Kagawa. Oh my word. To Royce. Should put a ball in. Aubameyang 1-0.
Right then, guys, so we're at the section of the show now where, if you remember last episode, we did ask you guys to drop any questions down into the comments section, and of course we'll answer them. So we've picked out a few, and very much the same for next time. If you guys have got any questions, don't forget to drop them in the comments section, because we may pick them out and ask them. So I'm going to start with a question from Jamie Fulton, and he's asked, what is your favourite save? Now I'm going to presume it's all time, and yeah, so we'll start with you, Kurt. So what's been your favourite save on Football Manager, or I'm guessing as far back as Championship Manager?
Yeah, well, my favourite save is actually relatively recent. It was Football Manager 2009. I started as QPR manager, so I didn't start in the lower leagues. Started in the Championship, and took a couple of years to get out of the Championship. then got to the Premier League, and then just kind of slowly built and built and built. And Arsenal had a bit of a dynasty at the time. They were winning everything. They were top of the league. They'd won like 4 or 5 titles in a row. And eventually I overturned them with QPR. I had Kerrison as my striker. I've spoken about him before. He's probably one of my favourite FM players of all time. And we won the league. We overturned Arsenal. And then Arsene Wenger retired. And then Arsenal offered me the job. So I jumped ship to Arsenal.
You bad man. You bad man.
So, I don't know. I just thought, well, Wenger's had this sort of dynasty. And, I've taken QPR to the Premier League title. And I just thought, I can create my own dynasty with Arsenal. So I did. So I played for about 5 seasons. I sort of had one of those seasons where I went undefeated, won all trophies and everything like that. And then it got boring, to be honest with you. But for those, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 seasons or something like that, that was the game that I was most immersed in my Football Manager, Championship Manager career, I think.
It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes success on Football Manager can get quite boring. And it prompts you to move. It prompts you to move clubs, find a new challenge.
I think when you're just hitting continue and you're going to win, it's just a case of, like it got to the point with Arsenal where I was just going, right, if I lose a game this season, that's the season. No, it's rubbish. I've got to play one more season because I want to have the undefeated season. And it's just, it got a bit boring. Got a bit boring towards the end.
Yeah, I've had that myself with Man United. I won 3 trebles back to back with United a couple of years ago, and I was so bored. I didn't have to do anything. I was just picking a team, and they were winning. It just got to that stage, But yeah.
So same question, and I suppose, Bood. Favorite save FM ever?
Yeah, my favorite save was on FM 12, and I do this quite often. I mean, you're probably the only person in this group who's heard of Denton, but we haven't got a football team in Denton. And quite often I make my own club, and it didn't always work out, but on FM 12 I built Denton, started at the bottom, we worked all the way through the end. We ended up winning the leagues, Champions Leagues. I built like 3 squads, one after another, and I played up to like 2050. It's the only time I've ever not got bored actually of being successful, or got bored and just kept on playing. It's the longest save I've ever had. And I played it all the way up to the new game coming out. And it's probably the first time I was gutted that a new game came out because I had to stop playing it. But yeah, it was brilliant. I had loads of great players on that. And yeah, it was the most enjoyable series I've ever had was with, Real Denton, they were called.
So when you create your own club, do you put in your mates and stuff like that? Or is it...
I have done that in the past. I mean, I don't know if you... I'm 38. In 1994, when we didn't go to the World Cup, in 94, we all had to pick teams to support, and one of mine was Brazil, and they had Bebeto up front. Do you remember Bebeto? Yeah. And you used to do that celebration. So me and my mates, we used to play football on the park, and we'd stick O on the end of our name. So I was called Grahamo. Right? So I always used to, and I still do it now and again. I used to make a little Brazilian, call him Grahamo, and I put my mate in. He's called Cooper. I used to call him Cooperto and Caldinho, and that's it. And I hadn't done that for a while. I might do that. I have to do that, but yeah.
What about yourself? Oh, go on.
Oh, sorry. One quick thing you asked about my mates. My mate actually got in the game once. I might have said this on my own channel. Years ago on Champ Manager, they had a competition, right, where you could apply to be a regen, or if you look too old, you could be applied to be a staff member. Me and my mate who loved the game applied, didn't get in. My other mate who was just there on the day, hates Football Manager, he applied, he got in. As a freaking regen, you'd play the game and my mate Jamie Caldwell would pop up with his face and everything. I was angry all year. It really, really got on my nerves. But yeah, sorry.
Brilliant. What about yourself, Troy?
Well, I haven't been playing Football Manager for too long, but to be honest, I don't go on very long saves. I kind of get bored of saves very easy. So there's no real long story of success or failure. But the saves that stand out in my mind, I took Portsmouth. Every year I load up the game, where every year I have a look, and Portsmouth's still in the second division or second League 2 every year. And 1 year I took them over and got back-to-back promotions, and then the file corrupted. So I suppose that was a depressing story. But yeah, other than that, I did enjoy the Fleetwood Town save last year. Wasn't expected to finish last. I got back-to-back promotions. I got into the Premier League. First year, just avoided relegation, and then FM 17 came out. So yeah, I haven't done too many long-term saves that are really memorable, because I normally always, every time I got the game, I always start with United, and then I keep on winning the Champions League, and it's not really, I don't know, you don't really get into it. If you just keep on winning, you don't really get into it, and you buy all these just ridiculous players. So then I just end up, losing it and just going all the way down to league, the lowest league ever possible. And then I get bored of it because I don't know the players and they're really shit. So yeah, no real long-term saves here, but a lot of good short-term saves. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? The trouble probably is with us lot, we've probably played it a lot longer, and I played it for years before I started content creating. Whereas once you become a content creator, you very rarely play it like you used to. I don't play it for fun anymore. I haven't really even got a save going. So I suppose in a way you haven't got the history of all them long-term saves when you were just playing it. You've come into it and then started making content, I suppose. So maybe you've got that history.
Yeah, it was just last year started making content, and what I've noticed when I'm making content, you may notice on my channel I only do one video a week. I do play the game like a little bit more than just my save. Like I have a lot of offline saves, but then I struggle to get into them because I know I've got to record and start playing my other save when I've got time to record. So it's just, yeah, especially now, there hasn't been any real long-term saves, which are to note or ones that I've really enjoyed. So. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I really like getting a club started, and that first couple of months that you're at the club, getting the right transfers, and I don't know, just that first year really does it for me. And then when I get into the next couple of years, just kind of get stale, what I'm doing at the club, or I just get sick of it and want new players and a new challenge. So yeah.
Nice.
Well, I think I think that's fair. You did that episode on your own channel, didn't you, before hitting continue? And it was quite obvious that you enjoyed just that initial part of taking over a club.
Oh, that takes me. It takes me forever. That first day before I hit continue, I could spend hours just doing all this stuff and looking for staff, looking for players, and I want to get everything 100% right before I hit that continue. Because once I hit the continue, I go, I didn't check the transfer market.
I'm the same as you. Same.
And then I suppose the last one before myself, but Dave, what about yourself? Favourite save of all time? Obviously, you being one of the older guys here, we know you've been playing this game longer than everybody else, so you must have a myriad of saves to think about.
Were you being serious for a second then? I was like, I don't know, I've had a couple of really good saves. One of the older ones was on FM 09. When I used to have the Wolves job, got sacked and went to Liverpool, and I just turned Liverpool, we signed so many bang average players, but we made them brilliant. And the only reason that was so memorable because I had John Fleck. I brought him from Rangers when he was really decent on the game, and I had I used to play a 4-2-2-2 with the two attacking wingers, and I brought in Stephen Fletcher. I signed him from, because he played for Wolves in real life anyway, but I signed him from Hibernian on the game. Did really well in the Prem with Wolves, and then I signed him for Liverpool, and Scotland won the Euros in the end with Fleck and Fletcher up front. So that's why that one was so memorable. But probably my favourite one of all time was it was kind of a journeyman as such. I just started unemployed with no qualifications, and it was a lot easier to get a job. I think it was FM 15, maybe 14, and I ended up getting the Bristol Rovers job, and they were mid-table in the Conference Prem. Straight away I loaned a guy called Dominic Knowles from Burton, I believe, and he grabbed 30 goals. So we won the conference, we won League 2, and then in the end I think we were doing okay in League 1, and I jumped ship to the Prem. QPR offered me a job in the Prem, and in the end that didn't quite work out and I left. And I can't remember, I think I had a few stints at Championship clubs. I think one was Reading, I had one with Ipswich, and I got to the playoffs, but you get promoted in the end. And I think in the end, because I was applying for Prem jobs, I didn't get any until Brighton offered me one, and I think they were tipped for relegation. All of a sudden we got them into Europe. I think they had Jerome Sinclair up front, the one that used to play for Liverpool.
Ex-Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I think, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was that save. And then Brighton were just brilliant, but the part of me regrets leaving Bristol Rovers because I think even if I didn't get promoted in League One, I would have done all right with Bristol Rovers because like the mentality I had was either look for pre-contracts because like 3 or 6 months down, like before the season ends, you can look at the contracts that are coming up, and there's always one player that realistically is out of your league, but you could still sign him. He'd still join you if you gave him enough money. And I did that a lot with Bristol Rovers, signing like top League One quality players in League Two, and that's why we got promoted. And I always had the mentality of I'm going to loan a player from the conference and just carry on loaning him every season that I can, because then eventually his contract expires and I normally can get him on a free. So I did that with a lot of players as well. So top young players. Well, not top like Premier League standard, but like top young players who could easily come Championship quality. I was just loaning them every year, and then eventually a lot of their contracts just ran out, and I signed them on frees. So that way I wasn't spending too much money. But at the same time, yeah, I did enjoy that save with Bristol Rovers, but I haven't really done anything since. And I know a lot of people are doing like the journeyman now on YouTube, so I've never really wanted to go into that on YouTube as such. And I think it's a lot harder to get a job now if you did those rules with like no qualifications and so on. But
and you keep getting sacked as well, don't you, Dave? So.
Oh no, I think you're thinking of someone else there. So that's
Rich on Switch.
That's it. But yeah, that was a really good save. But yeah, I've never. I might do that again soon.
I think there's a fine line between starting with no qualifications and starting with too many, and I think that definitely should be something that you base dependent on the size of the club that you're planning to start the game with. Now, of course, if you're going in at the bottom and you're going to go unemployed, fair dues, go in unqualified, etc. But I think if you're going to manage a Championship team or maybe a Premier League team, you cannot.
You need the right qualifications to suit, or you won't get the job in reality.
Exactly, you can't go into them clubs as a Sunday League footballer who's got 3 in every attribute. So I think some people dwell on it too much and think, oh well, you can't start a game and have qualifications. Well, it's like, well, hang on, I'm taking over Crystal Palace. They're not going to employ a bum off the side of the road who's never managed a team before.
No.
So
plus, someone made a comment in the last episode. It's just a recent one. They made it the other day, and it's something I've talked about before. And they've said like one of the things that need overhauling is if you want to start low, there's certain things you can never improve as a manager. I think it might be determination. There's certain things that if you want to start, even if you want to start out with nothing, you have to give yourself a certain amount on them because you're never going to improve them. No matter how many courses you go on, no matter how high you go up in leagues, you'll never improve them certain attributes. And he said he'd like that improving, and that probably should be improved.
Yeah.
But that's one thing you have to look out for as well, because I remember second yellow card started off with nothing, no stats, no nothing. And he was trying to build and build, and he was just hitting a wall because he couldn't improve certain parts of his skill base because you can't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, next one. Let's ask you, Toby. What's your?
Well, I'll keep it quick because I'm aware that we have taken quite a lot of time already. But for me, it's not been a save. Obviously, I'm the youngest of the group. I've only been playing FM for 5 minutes. If you believe that, you believe anything. But I've been playing FM so bloody long that I've got. My mind is full. I don't even remember most of my saves, if I'm brutally honest. I've been Manchester United a lot, but I think whenever I think back to my favourite save, it's not necessarily the game, the team I was playing. It was more a situational thing. Growing up, there's myself, my brother who's a year older than me. We always played Football Manager together, or back then it was Championship Manager, and we also had a friend round the corner, and I spoke about this recently, but the save was in Spain, and there was me and my friend were in control of Real Madrid and my brother was in control of Barcelona, or a mix of that, because we're talking this must be 15 years ago now, if not longer, maybe 20. And it wasn't the fact that we did really well. I mean, it was at a time where Real Madrid, it was the Galacticos, the proper Galacticos, Figo, Zidane, Ronaldo, fat Ronaldo, should I say. But, it was the ultimate team, but it was the situation of being... that excitement when the three of yous are free to go and play it.
Yeah, I've done that with my mate.
And I'm talking sat around the same bloody computer. None of this network game and you're in your house and he's in his house. I'm talking all sat around the same computer. And it's not as though I've chased that ever since, but I've never felt as involved in a save since then. We've spoke about it here briefly. A lot of the saves I have, I'm like Troy. not necessarily that I go out to play short-term saves, but because I've been playing the game that long, I can play it quite well, and I can make a success of almost any team. Probably shoot myself in the foot, and I'll go on to my next series and get my ass handed to me. But I can make a relative success of most teams. But the problem there is, and Chris touched on it, when you get to the point where you're winning quite regular, it's sort of like you start like, I'll just hit continue and hit continue, and that's when it gets tedious or boring. So
I was the same, Toby. I had a thing with my mate, and we used to old school, and during mobiles only text, not on the smartphone. And this is like 10 years ago when I was in my early 20s, and he'd be texting me all day like, I'm gonna kick your ass tonight, Derby day. He'd always be City, I'd be United, and that'd be Friday night. We'd get a pizza, a few beers, and we'd just lever it all day, all night. I'd go around the next day, and he'd just be bantering me all day on the texts. And then if I beat him, you'd never hear a word, but it'd give you that motivation, like, to keep clicking, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? I love that. I'm the same thing. I used to love that, mate.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I miss that, I'll be honest.
Right, let's move on though. Who else has got a question? Someone else had a question.
Yeah, next question. We've got a question from Ollie Plays, and he asked us what has been our favourite FM17 player so far. Or regen, yeah. So let's just start off in a similar order, and we'll start off with you, Curty.
Oh, there's only one man.
Oh,
there's only one man, and
I know him.
and Toby is just. Yeah, he's signed him on his save, and just getting to know him, looking after him, I hope. But my man is Paulo Dybala. I signed him. I did an Arsenal save at the start of FM17. Go check it out. And I signed Paulo Dybala right at the very start. Obviously, Arsenal. Most people know they need a proper striker in real life, and so I identified that, and I went after Dybala. And oh my God, that guy, some of the things he does, and I don't know whether it's because I've only recently started watching the games in 3D, but some of the things you see him do are just absolutely magical. And he's my bae. Paulo Dybala is, if you can get hold of him,
United. Awesome.
Yeah, if you're a top team and you can get hold of him this year, you will not regret spending the money.
I really had to spend the money, to get him.
Yeah. I bought him for 200 million on my don't paid it over 4 years.
Yeah.
Mental. Anyway, no swore then. Right, Troy, who's yours?
My favourite, it would have to be from my Rome save. Nainggolan, where his name is. Nainggolan.
Didn't you get GW?
Yeah, that's probably why he scored some absolute screamers, and I just wanted to scream his name, but it's on my lungs, but I didn't know how to say it. Had G sort that out for me, but yeah, he scored. Every guy he scored was from 30 out, and he was just a boss in the midfield. Yeah, his favourite player by far this year.
Dave, what about you?
I mean, there's a few that I can name like quickly off like my Rotherham save, which was like obviously Kuki. You've got booed as well.
I love him. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a striker on loan from PSG called Edouard who got on a free, and he like helped us fight towards the playoffs. But on my 1860 save, probably best player I had before he retired was Olic, and then Ribermar's fairly good now. Best regen. I've got like 3 really. I got Big Pat Copeland up front, who's banging him in.
That's a top name, that, isn't it? You can imagine him being bald, can't you? Like proper bald, with the hair on the sides.
And then, but now I've got a new winger, a Nigerian guy called Henry Shehu, and he's unbelievable. So he's the one. I think he'll become a top Bundesliga winger.
What about you, Toby?
Well, to echo what Chris has said, obviously Paulo Dybala is just on another level. No spoilers, hopefully, because this obviously will be going out a week from when we record it. But in my save currently, I play him as a complete forward in a 2-striker formation. And I checked his stats. He'd played 31 games, scored 22 goals, which you think, it's not bad. 23 assists. He had been, so basically it influenced sort of 45 times in 31 games. So it's amazing. However, my favourite player, Callum Griffin at Manchester United. Oh
really?
My!
That's surprising.
Honest to God, I mean, it's these world class players, which is all well and good, but I think I put quite the chase on Dybala over a couple of years. Anyone who's watching the Fergie way will know. Juventus wouldn't sell him. I wasn't prepared to pay 200 million. And it took some relatively, not dirty tactics, but I had to personally go watch a lot of games to buy him, which is all well and good. But there was this little gem sat at the club. And I think the reason I like him so much, obviously I'm a United fan anyway and all that helps, but he somewhat reminds me of David Beckham. He doesn't play out wide or anything like that. His free kick taking is second to none. Absolute golden. But it's his... I can depend on him no matter what. He's not got the best stats at the moment in my game. I think he's still only 21. But if you see his stats at 21, I've not took him to 28 yet to see how he gets on. But I can only imagine, if you stick with him, how much of a genuine world-class player he'll be. And the reason why I like him so much...
Yeah, that's an episode for you, mate, in the future, into the future. Griffin.
Well, basically, when the Fergie way ends, I'm going to do a little mini-series so everyone can see how the lads... Obviously, the Fergie way was all about bringing in the youth, bringing up the youth that already belonged to the club when the game started, and I want to see them progress, and I'm sure everybody else wants to. But the great thing about him is I was always able to depend on him. So I could lose Paul Pogba to an injury or a suspension, and ordinarily you'd be like, oh, that's it. We're going to struggle the next few games, and Griffin would come in and do the job. So I know everyone might have been expecting a world-class wonder player who might cost you hundreds of millions, and I agree Dybala is awesome. But for me, Callum Griffin, absolutely tremendous.
Did Pogba just miss out on that because he got his head turned by Real Madrid?
Well, Pogba missed out on a few games after he got his head turned, that's for sure.
I know he did. You told him off.
I certainly did tell him off. But which give Griffin a chance. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't see much point in sitting there and saying how amazing Pogba is. Pogba went on and won Ballon d'Or under sort of my leadership. But it was more I was trying to think of one who genuinely has surprised me. Pogba and Dybala don't surprise me. The money you pay, they're great players. They've got to be.
You expect it.
But Griffin really surprised me. So that's my choice. How about yourself, Bood? You being the last one?
Yeah, well, more recently, I'd say Kuki, like Dave said, because he has blown me away. In the last season or the current season, I think he's got 28 goals in 29 Premier League games. He's just gone. He's awesome, right? But the player that's blown me away is Naki Wells. I have never heard of Naki Wells, right? 28, I think, when you start the game, 27. I looked at him and he's quite quick. I looked at him for he's a decent Championship striker, but he just scores goals. He scored like 30 odd goals, got me into the Prem, kept me in the Prem, kept on playing him. He just kept on scoring. In my personal United save, which I'm not playing anymore, I bought him for 10 mil, and he was banging him in even more in a better team with better players. And I'll be honest with you, if you need a striker at that kind of level who can go into the Prem and is cheap, it's got to be Naki Wells. He's like Troy just said, it's someone who's Toby just said, someone who's surprised me, someone I've never heard of who has just really made the game enjoyable, and I've had so many great moments with Naki Wells. So yeah, Naki Wells definitely. He
does a good job when you play him out wide as well, doesn't he? He's,
on the left, he's brilliant. He still scores. Yeah, and he's not even a winger, but he's quick, so he just does the job. Yeah.
That's what I've done with Ribamar now, because he's got all the stats to be a decent winger, but he just doesn't play there. But for the whole of this season now, I've been playing him at left wing just so I could fit Copeland in up front as well. So it works well. He still scores and he gets bags of assists. So
never be put off if someone can't actually play there. If they've got certain attributes that can work, they might do. It don't hurt to try. And like Naki proved when I had no left wingers who were all injured and I had to stick him out there. He did a great job, but he is a good player. He blew me away, I'll be honest.
Ribamar was good at crossing, he's good at dribbling, he's good at finishing, he's quick. So I thought it's a no-brainer really, and all his stats to be a winger are decent. So I've started him there, and he's played fairly well, to be honest.
It's Kurties Quiz. So now we've come to that part of Talking Balls once again. It's Kurties Quiz. Yay! There we go. That's a bit better. Last week was disappointing. The excitement was quite clearly fake.
You are a modern day Barrymore.
Wow.
I think we're all just a little bit worried.
I don't know how I feel about that. Right, so we're going with the same format. The questions are easier this week, you'll be pleased to hear. But we're going with the same format. There's 5 questions. I'm going to keep tally, and obviously, as it's just the FM Scout boys here today, no special guests, these are going to go towards your end of series accumulated amount, and then we'll, at the end of the series, the end of the Talking Ball series, we will announce an FM Scout Kurties Quiz winner. Okay, so in the result of a tie today, we do have a tiebreaker question as well.
Ooh.
So we'll open up with the first question. Wayne Rooney recently surpassed Bobby Charlton's long-standing record as the highest goal scorer for the England national team. But who is third on that list? Yes. Remember, only a few seconds. Do we all have answers?
I have an answer.
Okay. Toby?
I've gone for, and I don't really support England because I'm a United fan, but Alan Shearer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dave?
I'm going with Michael Owen. I don't have a clue.
Michael Owen. Bood?
I went with Alan Shearer.
Okay. And Troy?
Yeah, I had the same, Alan Shearer.
I can't believe none of you got that.
Nice one.
Oh,
I can't believe...
Gary
Lineker.
Neville.
Oh, is it? Gary Neville.
Gary Neville.
Gary Lineker.
Phil Neville.
Gary Lineker. Is it
Yeah.
Lineker?
Yeah. Unbelievable. Right, okay.
Next quiz, 2 + 2 is 4.
I mean, I can't work like this, guys. I'll be honest with you.
1 + 1.
Well, you
Right,
know the
okay,
answers,
surely.
they're easy for you.
Surely now. Okay. The 2016 FA Cup final will mainly be remembered for Alan Pardew's little dance, remember? However, which player scored the extra time winner to make the score 2-1 to Man United?
I should know this. Why are you asking us?
Now I
do
know
know
we've
this.
got 2 United fans here, so...
I think I've spelled his name right.
Yeah, I've spelled it wrong.
Boom.
Alright, Toby, you're up.
Lingard.
Jesse Lingard is correct. Bood?
Yeah, Lingard.
Yeah. Dave?
Same.
Yeah, well, you probably shouldn't have given it away that it was correct. But yes, I had Lingard as well.
You did?
Yeah.
Alright, because I'm trusting you here, chaps. Remember that.
I've spelled
I
it
am
wrong.
showing
can't-
the
yeah.
question. I'm showing it up to the screen, so.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, fine. Okay, we're off the mark. Congrats.
Ding!
First one.
Right, one for Troy now.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
fucking hell. From last
Aussie
week.
legend Tim Cahill could also be considered an Everton legend, with a spell at the club lasting 226 appearances and 56 goals. However, which team did Everton sign him from?
Oh, I think I know it. I'm sure I do. I'm sure.
If I get this wrong, I swear to God.
It's not Gold
Yours.
Coast. All right, Bood.
Millwall.
Okay. Troy.
Yeah, Millwall.
Toby.
Well, I've got this wrong then, haven't I? I just went for Perth Glory, whoever they are.
That's glory. Okay.
He's never played for him.
Dave.
Yeah, I'll put Millwall as well.
The correct answer is Millwall.
Come on.
Ding!
So there you go.
That's great.
That's what we need. We need a little ding sound.
I'll supply, don't worry.
Okay. So, question number 4. The 2008 Champions League final between Chelsea and Man United went to a penalty shootout. Which player missed the crucial penalty for Chelsea to send the shootout to sudden death?
Oh wait, one who missed it for United.
No, for
No.
which
One
player
missed it
missed
for
the
Chelsea.
crucial penalty for Chelsea to send the
Alright.
shootout to sudden death?
Not the final penalty. I know the final penalty. He's a Man United fan.
I think I got it.
I think I was drunk when I watched the game. Can't remember.
All right, is everyone ready?
No, wait,
Yeah, I think I'm doing.
because I got it wrong. I'm going for that.
Okay. All right, Dave,
Nicholas Anelka.
Toby.
Anelka. I think it was a trick question and everyone was expecting John Terry, but I'm pretty sure it
Yeah.
wasn't John Terry's that sent it to
He
extra
missed the
time.
last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he missed the last one.
Troy.
Well, guessing from Toby's answer, I've just been tricked into Terry.
Okay, and Bood.
I went Drogba.
The correct answer is John Terry.
Yeah, ding!
He missed the last one.
Anelka missed the final penalty.
It was
I
Anelka.
knew it was one of because I just pictured John Terry missing it and Edwin van der Sar like running up and celebrating, but I knew it was one Anelka or Terry.
Yeah. No, John Terry missed the 5th penalty for Chelsea, which would have won it for them.
Do you know what? I thought you were playing a clever card then and expecting everybody to put Terry because of the slip. Hence why I went with Anelka.
John Terry's a United fan, you know that, don't you?
So
I think he did it on purpose.
Is Troy won then?
Troy is in the lead, going into the final
2.
question. Right.
I've got all of them right, actually. Have I?
No, you haven't. You didn't get the first one right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, final question. The 2016 European Championships. We all remember that, right? It was only last year.
I didn't watch any of it.
Which player scored the winning goal for Portugal in the final?
Not a clue.
Do you know what?
Come on.
This is well
Come
bad.
on. I think
Dave
I've won
knows.
it. I think I've won it.
Boring.
Right.
So I don't know anyone else.
We all written down answers?
Yep.
All right.
Go me
Come on,
last.
Troy. All right. Toby?
Right, well, I've gone. I know I'm not right, but I've gone for Renato Sanchez.
Okay. Bood?
I've gone for Ronaldo.
He was injured.
No,
Oh yeah, Ronaldo, the guy that got injured.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, did it? I didn't even watch it. I remember
wasn't
seeing
on the
He
pitch.
cuddled Fergie. He cuddled Fergie at the end.
Yeah,
Troy?
still got his fingers.
No idea.
No idea. No answer.
No.
And Dave?
Adair. Come on.
Yes,
Adair
it
is
was.
correct.
Come on, the boys.
Right. So that leaves us in the tiebreaker.
Ooh.
So
Is it
we have
maybe
Bood
Troy?
on 2, Toby on 1 today. Last episode's winner, and Troy and Dave on 3. So tiebreaker question
Maltese
is in
stallions.
effect. We're in deadlock.
Is this for Troy?
So this is just between Troy and Dave.
Yeah.
All right. So tiebreaker question.
Mm-hmm.
England and Scotland have played each other more than any other nations in history. How many of the 113 official matches that have taken place have England won? And the closest number is deemed the winner.
How many games was it? Sorry.
All of them?
113 games in total. How many games of those have England won? So just write down a number. Ready?
No, yet.
Show your numbers. Show them so you can't cheat.
Tell me when, Troy. Tell me when.
I'm ready, yeah.
All right. Okay. Dave?
74.
74. Troy?
I had 40.
You for
I can tell you that the winner of this week's Kurties Quiz is Troy.
Yeah, boy.
No.
The correct number was 48.
Oh,
No.
Jesus. That's close.
Wait.
You got to think about draws and stuff like that.
England have beaten Scotland 48 times.
How many Scotland won?
113 games.
There's going
41.
to be a lot of draws, isn't there? Yeah.
Is that in
very
the
close.
olden days?
Yeah.
In the olden days.
olden
It's up to date.
So congratulations,
They get their
Troy.
wins.
thought I'd win
Thank
it.
you.
Well done, Troy.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, little clap.
That also puts you in the overall lead
Oh, yeah, that's
after the last episode.
Last week's shambles.
Episode's debacle.
How are you calculating that over? Is it how many questions you get?
Yeah,
right
it's just how many
altogether?
questions you get right altogether. So Toby was the only one that got one right last week.
Winner, winner.
So the carryover points.
Chicken dinner.
So yeah, that's the end of the quiz.
Awesome quiz. Cheers, Chris. So there we go then, guys. That does bring us to the end of episode 3 of Talking Balls. We absolutely love doing this show, and we love it when you guys interact with us. So don't forget, if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. As you know, we will always try and get through them. Sometimes we turn it into a massive conversation, which can't be helped, but we always try and get through as many as possible. So if you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like on the video. If you're new around here, you can hit subscribe. Also, we do release this on Soundcloud, so if you want to listen to it there, feel free. And don't forget to check out fmscout.com, where, of course, you'll find all the latest news, tactics, logos, graphics. You've probably been there before. We all have, but it is an ace site and worth checking out. Before we go, though, I would just like to say to the guys, anyone want to say goodbye to everyone?
Bye.
See you.
Cheerio.
There we go. A nice goodbye there, and hopefully we will see you at episode 4. So catch us later. See you in a bit.